Jake, I think I read that you told the TV that you didn't drink enough water, and that was what happened with your cramps. Can you walk us through what happened? Because it looked like you got hit, so we didn't know what was going on.
No, my thumb, forearm just all started cramping, so my thumb was just locking up on me. I couldn't throw. And then came in and got an IV and was fine. But yeah, it's pretty dumb, but just need to drink more water and electrolytes, I guess. And I think sometimes when it's cold, you just aren't thirsty. So yeah, I guess that's probably the main takeaway from the game is hydrate better.
Have your teammates already given you a hard time about water, or do you think that's coming?
Yeah, but I'm sure it will be. But I think everyone's just happy we won. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is.
You mentioned last week about how you wanted to follow up with your performance on Monday Night Football with another quality performance. You did that today. What's it feel like to go back to back?
It feels good. I feel like we got some good rhythm going. But I think as well as we played on offense, I thought our line had a really good game. No sacks, a couple explosive screens, ran the ball for 100+ yards. But I think for all these post-game press conferences, you kind of go back to the same thing of it's never as good as you think, it's never as bad as you think. So I'm sure, I know there's some things that I can improve on, and so that'll kind of be my focus. But it feels better doing that when you won and trying to keep getting better instead of losing and trying to get better. So we'll take it.
Just like the other night, you had a bad 20 seconds where, like suddenly the game changed in about 20 seconds. And just like Monday night, you guys didn't fold. Why is it?
Yeah, threw a bad pass to Tanner. He tried to make a play on it. He did throw it to him in the chest, and they returned it for a pick six. So that was, it was tough. But I think coming into halftime, my thought process was the only time that they haven't stopped us is when I threw it to the other team. And so just don't do that and we'll move the ball well.
Was that just did you throw it too far inside him?
Yeah, I thought he was going to sit, and then he kind of sit and broke out a little bit. I'm sure he was right. Might have threw it too far inside, and he goes out and tries to make the one-handed catch, and it kind of goes in the guy's lap. But I mean, I think if I just throw it to him in the chest, we'll avoid the whole problem.
What is the key, Jake, to a 92-yard scoring drive, 3 others of over 70 yards? What's the key in your mind to having big, long drives?
Yeah, I mean, I think I feel like our offense is doing a good job of running the ball well, having some plays off those runs, and some explosives. And it all seems to be kind of flowing well, doing a good job of complementing each other. I think, like I said, our line played incredible. I think they were really the consistent force throughout the game, and I think when we do that, there's an opportunity for some explosives, and we obviously got the guys on the outside to do that.
Jake, why has the screen game been so good for you guys?
I don't know. I don't spend that much time on screens. Just kind of do my part on it, and then try and sell pass to get. I think part of what they do on defense is limit the explosives. Part of that is they're playing soft. They're running everybody out underneath to try and stop the intermediate to long pass game. And so when you dump off a few and let some linemen get out in front, that's kind of the game you play when you go play defense like that. Is some of the underneath stuff's going to be there. And I thought Chase had a really good run after catch. I didn't get the best view of it, but went for 50+, so we'll take that in the stats. And then same with Joe Mixon. I mean, second week in a row where Joe Mixon has had a big time screen to spring an explosive.
You guys have found a style that fits your strengths as an offense. Why has that worked with the process between you and staff?
I'm not sure, but I think I would keep going back to. I think it really does start up front and with Joe Mix, and when we're able to run the ball well, and you have to dedicate more resources to stopping the run, then we have really good skill players on the outside, and I think Zach. I feel very comfortable with how everything's going. Zach calling the game, feeling like we're staying a step ahead as far as run, pass, having everything kind of look the same, and then mixing in some screens, and it's makes my job easy.
How much does going under center maybe help everything kind of look the same as we kind of keep things, maybe being able to open up some of those into the deep stuff and the other side stuff?
Yeah, I think the more you can do, the more looks you present to the defense, and the more that all those looks have multiple things you can run out of those formations or those sets. I think it makes it difficult, and I feel like we're doing a good job of that.
Did you
Same
know Chase
concept.
Brown? Did you know Chase Brown was this explosive? Have you seen it in practice?
Yeah.
The past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Chase was super fast. Gets, when he's running the ball in practice, he does a good job of getting vertical, putting his foot in the ground and being explosive. And so it was awesome to see him. I think you saw a little bit of it last week with a couple big runs, and then today with the screen. It's obviously a huge play, and I think he'll continue to do a lot for us. It's kind of nice to have the 1-2 punch of him and Joe Mixon, and I think every good offense needs 2 legit running backs, and I think we got that.
It's safe to say they complement each other well.
Yeah, very.
Joe Mixon was just asked if he thinks this is a playoff team, and started his answer by saying, "Damn right." What do you think? Is this a playoff team?
Damn right.
Same kind of, go ahead.
Your family got some serious airtime. I know you didn't see that, but they are very proud of you. What did it mean to you to have them on the field or in the box?
Yeah, in the box. Well, first of all, it is not my box. I did not buy that in the preseason. Very expensive. So Joe Burrow was nice enough to give them some tickets so they didn't have to sit up in the cold. We're all from California, so I'm used to it. They're not, so I'm sure they were much more excited in the box. But it's awesome to have them here. It was, I think it was 2 friends from back home, a girlfriend, and then my brother, and my sister's boyfriend. So it's always nice to have people there, and it's mostly nice after you win to go grab dinner or something somewhere.
Did Burrow say anything when he came back on the field after the cramps?
I think he was just laughing. Just kind of, it's like, yeah, it was kind of embarrassing, but.
So then you know the
Water.
whole time. So you knew the whole time it wasn't broken.
Yeah, it was slowly cramping on me when I started trying to chug water. I think it was too late. I don't know. I think start getting an IV at halftime, I guess. I'm not sure.
It's kind of the same concept on third down to make it a little. It looked like there was 6-man protections. The third and 9.
Yeah, I don't think they pressured us a ton.
Right.
That's not really what they do. There'll be some games where it's all of a sudden a pressure game, but I don't think they pressured us a ton. Partially probably because they're working in a new linebacker and they want to make sure that everything's sound. But yeah, I mean, I thought our third down plan was good, and our overall scheme was good.
Jake, Jonah said that you guys as a team have been playing looser since you took over as the starting quarterback. Are you cognizant of how you handle situations weighs throughout the locker room in terms of you get tense or tired, things aren't going well, like how much that can affect the team? Like, is that something you consciously think?
Yeah, I think my relationship with like guys on the team kind of goes back to being here for a while and not really being in like people are going to approach Joe differently than they approach me when I'm the backup. So I kind of get to know all these guys really well on a pretty personal level. And so I think now that I'm playing and all that, we still have that same relationship, and I still feel like the exact same person. And I think also just genuinely just being myself, and I struggle to get outside of that.
Jake, you said this week over here, you weren't going to ride the roller coaster, obviously, all the emotions, but you showed some emotion walking off the field with the crowd and cheering for you, first home win. Was that a little extra meaningful for you, just that moment, to kind of soak that in there for a minute?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, yes, and I mean, maybe not. I don't know. It was cool to have to get a win at home. Last time we had a home game, we put up 10 points, and so it was nice to put up some points and get a win. And I think enjoying those moments is part of it. And so it wasn't really well thought through. It was just something that kind of happened.
The biggest difference in the offense since you took over seems to be the running game, the reliance on the running game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said a couple times now, our line's playing great football, and I think there's a lot written about our guys on the outside, and obviously they're some of the best players in the NFL too, and Joe Mixon's been a great running back. But our O-line and tight ends have been blocking their ass off, and I think that's a big part of why we've been successful.
How important was that first drive of the second half for you?
I mean, very important, just because I felt like they probably had the momentum, but I don't really feel that much as the game's going on. I don't know if maybe I'm the outlier there, but I just feel like the more I focus on doing my job and hold my attention to each play and executing each play how I'm supposed to, then it's kind of when I play my best. So I just like to just stay right there.
So you don't come out of halftime saying, we get the ball here, we need to make an impact, score 3 or 7.
I think every drive I'm just let's go score, and everybody should do their job. And plenty talented enough. We've got a great play caller, a great scheme, and just do your job.
It was the first time you get the ball to T was on the first. I think it was one of the first plays of the second half. Anything you saw?
I can't remember which play it was.
Today,
Sorry.
So over the last few weeks, you've really focused on, just handling what's immediately in front of you, whether that be next play of the game, whatever. But winning on a short week 2 times in a row in 2 very different ways, can you feel the momentum building around this team in the locker room?
Yeah. I mean, this was our first short week. The last one was kind of a long week, and Thursday night game was a long week, and now we got the 2 short weeks back to back, and honestly, it's kind of nice because you just kind of stay in the moment. You're so busy trying to prepare on a short week that you don't really have any free. The worst thing that happens is, I think with a lot of this stuff, is idle mind and free time, and so I don't really have either one of those on short weeks, and so it's probably an advantage.
The play before you took a knee, it looked like you had a receiver down the right side, you pulled it down and scrambled. Was that in the moment, feeling the cramp and pulling it down and taking off?
I think no. I was going to throw a hitch to the right, and I think he converted it to a go, and so I was kind of in scramble mode at that point. And I really started to feel it like when I threw the one to T, I should have given him a better ball, and then he would have 100 yards. But I kind of started feeling it a little bit, and it's kind of too late at that point. So, and then it got to third down. It's like, all right, we need to throw it here, and my thumb is just completely locked up. So, went down. Need to hydrate better.
Go ahead. Zac, obviously kind of an ugly end to the first half. How did your guys kind of regroup and turn that second half?
Yeah, we talked about this last night. We can't give them anything easy, and that's kind of what it felt like there. Just the last defensive drive there, because we played great defensive football really in the first half, and so gave it up there, and then they had a great job. I think it was Harrison there on the pick for the pick 6, and so again, it's just that's the way it goes sometimes going into half. You either have the momentum or you don't. We didn't really have it at that moment. Guys did a great job of just everyone had their poise throughout. I wouldn't say that. It was just 2 unfortunate events, but did a great job rallying together at halftime, knowing that we got to set the tone with the ball to come out. Offense did a great job scoring coming out. Defense did a great job getting a stop. And we took control of the game in a moment where we had to do that. And really proud of the guys in all 3 phases for being able to do that.
What has Chase Brown brought to this offense over the past 2 weeks?
I mean, he's done a great job just controlling what he can control, and when he comes back off the injury, great attention to detail, as a rookie with the things that we're asking him to handle. He's made plays when his number's called, and that's what you can do. And again, he's had the right mind. This whole rookie class really has had the right mindset since the moment they walked in the door. It's a really impressive class. Obviously, we're talking about Chase right now because he's had a great 2 games here, but just as a whole, I think that group has done a great job of mentally being about the right stuff in their rookie seasons.
What happened with Jake's hand? I mean, I know it was cramps, and then
Yeah.
what did you think of his performance today?
Yeah, I thought Jake did a great job handling all the different situations and cramp. So he came in and I think got an IV. So yeah, that's what it was.
Were you a little nervous that it was probably worse than what it was when it happened?
No, I wasn't. No.
Thoughts on Zac, the game that Trey Hendrickson had, and the way he bounced back from the penalty that was called against him?
Yeah. Again, he's a force out there, and you got to pay attention to him at all times, and does a great job. Again, we talked about this a lot last year. Even when he's not hitting the quarterback and making plays, they feel him, and they have to devote resources to him. and it allows our other guys to step up as well when they're doing that kind of stuff. So I thought Trey did a great job today. I thought our defense as a whole, I mean, obviously when they rushed for less than 50 yards and got 3 sacks, and that's a defensive effort overall. Doing a great job in the coverage and the rush and tackling.
What did you think, though, of that penalty and that situation in the game and how you guys rebounded after that?
Yeah, we can't have it. Trey knows that. Trey's the first one to own up to it, and it is what it is. We move on from it. I think we've done a great job, keeping the penalties not be a part of what we do. And so, again, that's just a learning moment for everybody, and we'll respond the right way.
You guys have taken a little bit different of an identity on offense to highlight Jake and what he does best. Why has that process with the coaches and with Jake and that collaboration, why has that worked so well?
Yeah, I don't know that it's really been that different. It's these are all things that we've done over the course of the season, and in each defense we play really is a big driving force of how the game's played sometimes. So I think everybody's just done a great job. We haven't called a single play that we didn't rep, all training camp and all fall. And I think these guys believe in what we're doing, and they've done a great job. Each guy stepping up. We've really called upon every resource we have on offense. Everybody has stepped up. I can think of so many guys that made catches today and big plays. And so we're not afraid to use everybody that's on the roster and active, and got faith that everybody can step up and do their job.
Zach, Joe Mixon had told us this week that after the loss of the Steelers, there was kind of an energy and a feel of, hey, we're still the Bengals.
Yeah.
How much did you feel that energy and that message kind of permeating the last 2 games?
I felt it throughout the whole process, and even in the midst of the losses, I think that's what keeps me always optimistic, is just being around the guys and the way that they continue to approach their job every single day, and that's what we want. That's why we built the team that way that Duke and everybody has is for these types of moments. Every team in the league faces adversity over the course of the season, and it's which teams can handle it and respond at the right times and not crater, and these are the guys that continue to respond, and we have to prove it again next week. It's not good enough just to do what we've done these last 2 weeks. It's not good enough, and so we just got to continue to stack it. We've got a history of doing that. Obviously, this is a new team. This is the 2023 team, and we've got to go prove ourselves again these next couple of weeks that we can continue to play good football here in December.
You talked about how
Hit Kelsey, and I'll come back.
you talked about how good that defensive line was for Indy coming in, and you look at the stats, only 3 quarterback hits. What did you think of the way that your offensive line protected you?
Awesome. Felt it throughout. I think one of the hits really was on a cross lift, which it's tough if they play it the right way. It's gonna be tough, and so we still hit TB for big gains. So I think those guys up front did a great job. There's great camaraderie in that room. They do a great job playing together. They take a lot of pride in keeping the quarterback healthy, getting the run game going, doing a great job getting the perimeter on screens. And so, again, those guys have risen to the challenge and are really helping us right now.
I know you guys focus on a week-to-week mindset, but winning 2 games in very different ways on a short week, can you feel momentum starting to build at the right time?
This team is just, the easiest way to put it is we've had confidence throughout, and we know reasons we've lost games. We know reasons we've won games. We know what our formula is. We have to play discipline. We have to protect the football, get the football out, and different guys got to step up in different moments. And today, a lot of guys stepped up. I thought we did a great job protecting the ball. Aside from one, Harrison, he made a great play, and got the pick 6, but we forced some turnovers as well. DJ Ivy was one of those guys that did that today. So, again, different guys stepping up right now, and that's what you need at this point in the season.
Your good feeling the screen game would be as effective as it was?
I was hopeful. That impactful, maybe not, but again, that's not just Chase and Mix. That's Ted had a huge block on the nickel, for Chase's touchdown run, and a lot of guys getting out space and just making DBs have to move around a little bit, even if they're not making the block. Receivers doing a good job selling whatever they need to sell on the play. So, and Jake doing a good job, holding the ball until he can let it out with good ball placement. So, it's on everybody. But it is a part of our offense that's really been impactful here these last couple weeks.
Brianna hit 30 points back-to-back weeks with your backup quarterback in. What does it kind of do for y'all as a team, seeing that kind of performance as you all get deep into this playoff chase?
Yeah, I mean, I really, we felt like we were in a great flow on offense really the last 8 or 9 weeks, and so the Pittsburgh game was our outlier, really. But I felt like we've been playing good football, and so the quarterback jumps in there and he's prepared, and he needs to step up and play just like as best as he possibly can without our starter out there, and Jake has done that, and so the guys believe in him, and but it's not about just one guy. It's the unit coming together and the defense supplementing that, the special team supplementing that, and I just think that the team effort has been outstanding these last 2 weeks.
Chase Brown crossed 22 miles per hour on that touchdown. Second fastest in the league. You knew he was fast, probably. Did you know he was that fast?
We've learned he's that fast. We've learned, we do the GPS in practice on kickoff return and things like that. And so he's had opportunities to show how fast he is, and he was the second in the league this year, you're saying?
Yes.
It's pretty good. Yeah, he's a fast guy. He's real fast.
So have you seen that number on the practice?
I think he's gotten to 22. Yeah, I don't know how high it's gotten above 22, but he's fast.
He sparked the offense, obviously. You think he sparked Joe Mixon? I mean, Mixon's played pretty well in these last 2 games.
Again, I've sat up here and told you I think Joe Mixon's given us what we need to give, and so it's that's maybe a different narrative, but I continue to be pleased with what Mixon brings to our offense, and so again, it's a good combo we've got going right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's most teams in the league, and so pleased with the job Justin Hill continues to do with that room. I mean, he's on it. He does a great job developing those guys and keeping them going, and so pleased with what they've provided us.
Zach, you guys had today a 92-yard drive in the first quarter.
And let me go back one step. I mean, Travion on third down has got a role he plays as well. It didn't come up as much today, but they've all got different roles, and maybe sometimes they're magnified, sometimes they're not. But I think he's done a good job on that role too.
92-yard drive in the first quarter, and then you had 3 more drives after that, touchdown drives of over 70 yards. What does that say about Jake's ability to put a lot of plays together?
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody. It's the defense not giving them momentum. It's the guys on offense making a lot of plays, and Jake distributing it the way. I felt good. Other than that 3 and out to start the game, there was a little clunky 2-minute situation, but we felt like we were scoring touchdowns on every drive. Maybe it doesn't add up on that, but I think at the end there when Jake got hurt was our next punt maybe outside of 2 minutes. So we felt like we had really good momentum, and our guys were doing a good job executing and just trying to stay ahead there. And so hats off. The linemen start all that process. They protect, they get the run game going, and all the other guys are making the plays that come to them.
Just heard B.J. Hill making a case for a few snaps on offense, I think, after that diving interception.
Yeah.
Again, on the red zone defense, I think it's 10 times now that this defense has come up with no points there by their opponents.
Yeah, that's something you feel when you get in there. We don't just assume there's going to be a field goal occurring or a touchdown. Like even the fourth down they scored on. In my mind, there's no way we're getting the ball back on the 2. What are we going to call here? And so that's just the mentality they've instilled because of what they've done. That's what the facts state. And so there's a belief, and I think because they've done it so many times, the guys believe that they're not going to give up points, and they find a way to get the ball back, and it flows over to a guy like me who's not sitting out there on defense doing anything. I just feel like we're going to get the ball back or get a stop, and that's how it goes sometimes.
Zach, when you have a young quarterback, sometimes they practice one way, and then when they get in the game speeds up. Are you surprised in any way how Jake's been able to transition his decision-making from practice to game?
I don't look at him as a young guy. He's been here now for 3 years. That's old in this league. And so he knows what makes a really good backup quarterback. It's just it's being able to take the reps that you're not getting mentally and manufacture them in practice. And Dan Pitcher does a great job with him in that. And so again, it's a little you'd handle him differently if he was a rookie, maybe second-year guy. But I feel like we've got a veteran quarterback out there just getting his first action in front of the whole stadium necessarily. But this is why we've given him the opportunity to compete for the job. This is why he won the job. This is why he stuck around for 3 years. A lot of times the guys on the practice squad, you just kind of switch them out after 2 years, if you feel like, all right, 2 years, but Jake had all the intangible stuff. He had the skills that we saw that this guy can be an effective player for us. And all he's done is continued to prove it right. He knows that the season doesn't end today. He's got to continue to stack this and prepare. And I'm sure we got another tough defense coming in next week with Minnesota. And so, but he's just controlled what he controlled to this point.